And students of Falls Church High School, I'd like to welcome all of you here, especially our alumni. We are here to honor Mr. Major Wells, former FCHS teacher and track and field coach with the rededication of the Falls Church High School track that bears his name. Mr. Wells was a track and field coach and math teacher at Falls Church High School from 1965 to 1988. Prior to working at Falls Church, he was a math teacher and track coach at Luther Jackson High School. Mr. Wells retired from Fairfax County in 1988, and in 2001, the Fairfax County School Board officially named the Falls Church track the Major J. Wells track. Shortly after the official proclamation, Shortly after the official designation, a sign was attached to the scoreboard. In 2013, the old school board was removed. Thank goodness for the scoreboard being removed. It had seen better days. But unfortunately, as a result, the sign was removed as well. This past summer, we acquired a new sign, and through the efforts of Craig Day, Falls Church High School track alumni, who you will hear from in a few minutes, Mr. Bobby Kraus, assistant DSA and current track coach, and Mr. John Morris, who is here. Where's Mr. Morris? Mr. Morris, former assistant DSA teacher and assistant track coach. They were able to get the sign reinstalled. The idea to celebrate Coach Wells with the rededication ceremony was through the efforts of all of them and was spearheaded by Coach Day. As you can see from the program, Mr. Wells' track and field accomplishments are incredible, a lifetime of achievements for individuals as well as for the school. In addition, his knowledge and support of youth track was extremely influential to other coaches and athletes and athletic directors around the region, state, and the entire DC area. As a proud 1986 graduate of Falls Church High School, and I'm glad to see some of my classmates here today, I was fortunate to be a student while Mr. Wells was here. He was my Algebra 2 teacher, but only for a few weeks. Unfortunately, I had a schedule change that forced me to switch math teachers. But whether you had him as a teacher or a coach, everybody knew Mr. Wells. He was a fabulous teacher, mentor, and had a personality that exhibited tough love, encouragement, and above all, life lessons. He worked his student athletes hard, but they knew it was because he cared. There's so many stories about Coach Wells, and hopefully you hear some of them today. He's truly a legend to the students who were fortunate enough to know him. I was a classmate, and am still a friend of Carmen Mann, perhaps the most famous track athlete to graduate from Falls Church High School. Our current students may know her because her name is still plastered all over the track record boards, which is located in the gym lobby. She set school records and set state records. We were state runners-up in girls track due to Carmen. Carmen went on to compete on a full scholarship to Penn State and had a tremendous career. Over the last 30 years, Carmen still keeps in touch with Coach Wells because he had such a powerful influence on her track career and her life. Unfortunately, Carmen could not be here today. I know that many other track athletes from back in the day feel the same way. Carmen came by to see me a few months ago, and I told her that Coach Wells had come to a track meet just the year before. I told her that I thought that Coach Wells was just going to be introduced and sit in the stands and watch. Because after all, if he doesn't mind me saying this, he is in his 80s. But of course, that did not happen. Coach Wells came ready to work. I think he even brought his own tape measure. As soon as the introductions were made, he headed to the discus ring, started calling out student athletes' names and distances, and running to mark the spots of the throws. It was like a flashback for me to 30 years ago. I should not have been surprised. Mr. Wells was always a dedicated coach, teacher, and leader. He was always willing to help students and to help Falls Church High School. I have the opportunity to go to my 30th high school reunion next month, and I'm almost positive that the very first question I'm going to get from my classmates is, how's Mr. Wells? So today, as we officially rededicate the Major Wells track, I'd like to thank Coach Wells for his lifetime of mentoring and inspiring the students, staff, and community of Falls Church High School. Thank you. At this time, I'd like to turn the microphone over to Coach Day, very proud 1977 graduate of Falls Church, and his name is also on the record board inside because he still holds the shot put record for Falls Church. Coach Day.
Thank you, Jeannie. Hey, current Jags and alumni coaches I see over here too. It's just great to see you all, especially Mr. and Mrs. Wells. And I might have that record only because Coach gave me a shot put one day and said, here, throw this. So that's how I got into shot put. And I'm coaching now. I have just one small little word that I wanted to share about Major Wells, and it's the word respect. Respect is what he didn't demand, he earned it, he expected it from us, and he taught all of us, all 20-some years, that you earn respect by giving respect, you don't demand it, and simply you live that way. And I just want to thank Coach Wells for showing me and others how to live with respect and share it. Thank you. I'm ready to move on to the next step. We have flowers and oh, it's right here. Oh my goodness, okay. We have flowers for this might say Major Wells track, but you know it's a Mr. and Mrs. Major Wells track. Right? No, I'm going to take a picture. I'm going to move it. So, as well as we have flowers.
Thank you very much. As I look over the audience, I see quite a few of the young men, young women that wanted to be track men and track women, but they were afraid of Mr. Dodd and Mr. Andy Williams, Mr. Hudson, and several other people around here. But they were all good athletes. All of you were good athletes. Yes, we had run, and run some more. We had jump, and jump some more. And the motto was be good or be gone. And if you couldn't be good, we couldn't leave you up here and tell you you had to do 500 sprints. Come back and you were over there playing, then you had to hit the road again. So we got that across. Our manager, Mr. Mark Dodd, could handle them as well as I could because they knew he was going to tell.
Oh, now.
And by that I mean he was instructed. If they don't do what you ask them to do, let me know. Well, I never had any problems. I never had problems because Mom and Dad condoned what I was doing. And if you get Mom and Dad behind you, whatever you're doing correctly, then you've got it made. I enjoyed my stay here. I'll come back again. Only if you'll come back again. Thank you so much. I've enjoyed my stay at this great school. We went Hillwood Avenue first, that's where we were. and then here, and in the algebra classes, the geometry. And that's what the little acorn said when it grew up. Gee, I'm a tree. So there are many things I could tell you about my stay at this great school. Families, athletes, administration, we want to go to the pen relays. We had never been to the pen relays. And Mr. Todd was our principal then. And so I got one of my parents to go speak to Mr. Todd about going. He said, well, send Coach Wells up here and let's see what we can do. So I explained to him what we wanted to do, and weren't any fault, but one, I think Woodson High School was going, about the only school from this area going. So we went on to the pen relays, had a good time. We didn't win, but we had 35,000 people up there looking at us for 2 days. And we represented ourselves well. For that, I say thank you to the great parents, this great administration, this great school. I've enjoyed my stay. I've enjoyed your time. I know you're tired of me, and I'm going to sit down. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully. So those of you guys that don't know me, I'm Bobby Krause. I'm the new head track coach with some huge shoes to fill over here for Coach Wells. Ms. Kelly said in 1988, Coach Wells retired. 3 months later, I was born. So not a slight towards Coach Wells at all, but it's really amazing that after so many years, everybody still wants to come back and see him. So I can only hope that in 30 years from now, I'll be sitting down here and kids will want to come back and see me at some point. But it's really amazing how many people you've touched and how valuable you've been to this school. I don't want to cut this short, but we do have a meet starting up. So if you guys want to stick around for our cross-country meet, which will start in about 20 minutes, we do have some refreshments over here. I think Mr. Major Wells and his wife are going to stay for a few minutes. You can kind of mingle, catch up, reminisce a little bit. Some stuff over there, and then also if you'd like, no pressure, but we also opened up some spirit wear stuff. You guys, if your shirts from high school aren't fitting anymore, and you need a couple new fall shirts, high school t-shirts and sweatshirts or hats or magnets or whatever, there's some stuff over there for you guys too. So thanks for coming, and go Jags.